Hey folks, this is Lawrence with another edition of Fellowship of the Father, and today we are going to talk about God zombies and energy vampires. Just in time for the holidays, right? Just in time for Halloween. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So, what does that mean? Energy vampires. What does it mean? God zombies. All right, let's start with God zombies. How about that? Let's make sure that everything's set up properly. There we go. All right, so anyway, God zombies. What are God zombies? God zombies are people that are mindlessly walking around doing whatever the particular doctrine of the day is without thinking. So, for instance, coming out of my particular church, what we would do is we'd go make disciples of all nations. And when we're done making disciples of all nations, we'd make disciples of all nations. And when we had a little spare time, we go make disciples of all nations. So, from the perspective of someone outside, they would look at that, they would say, these guys are brainwashed. And so you would say, hey, I don't want to be brainwashed. So you might mention that to the minister and say, my friends are saying that I'm brainwashed. You know what? When I first started this, I know I needed a good brainwashing, right? So brainwashing now becomes a good thing somehow, right? It makes sense in some ways, I guess. Anyway, how cute people can get with your psychology, right? So here's the problem with being a God zombie. There is a problem with being a God zombie, is that inherently what you're doing is you're denying the fact that God has made an amazing piece of machinery in you. He's made an amazing being in you. God is the ultimate being, and we are made in His image. And so if you begin to say, like, okay, my instinct, my gut feeling is saying that what we're doing here needs some adjustment. We need to have more compassion, or we need to come at this in a tactical way, or we need to get more rest at night, or this, that, and the other. And you begin to think these things out. Then some leader comes along and says, are you better than God? Are you better than God to think that you know more than... And then they pick up the Bible and they say, this book here says, this amazing book that you can't possibly fathom, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you what this book says, and this is what it says. Are you stronger than God? And what they're really saying is, are you testing my authority? Are you testing who you think I am to make these calls on what you should be doing, right? There's nothing wrong with cooperation. Cooperation is probably a really important thing in a society. So important to cooperate with your fellow man, unless the fellow man becomes unreasonable in the case that he doesn't want to reason anymore. In the beginning was the Word. When you translate that word, it's the word logos. In the beginning was the logic. In the beginning was trying to understand the all. In the beginning was the big picture, not just my picture. And then that became flesh, and it was with God, and it was God, according to the Bible, right? So who's right? This minister, or the actual Bible which you profess to believe in? Because what you'll find is a lot of times they're not both right, because someone else has their own agendas, right? When you blindlessly follow leaders, what you will see over a long period of time is you'll see that leader eventually gets found out, and then that leader will go start another church, and that leader will be found out in that church, and that leader will go find another church, and you begin to realize, oh, so it wasn't about obedience to God as much as being in control, or either having a power trip, or always needing an income, or whatever that particular thing is. It's always a different thing than what you always thought it was. So I guess what comes to mind exterior to my church is I had I had a friend of mine, really good guy, told me about the LDS church, and he told me one good thing about the LDS church is the prophets, they don't get paid. I go, wow, that's pretty cool. That's actually really good. So where do these prophets live? Oh, they live in the house. Okay. Well, how'd they get their house? The Lord took care of them. How'd the Lord take care of them? I don't know. And then you get a overhead view of the house. The house is a mansion. It's like God provided a mansion that has no property taxes. What? Well, the church pays for that. Oh, the church pays for it. So, in a sense, he does get paid, right? So, we got to get to this point where, yes, we're trying to stay in flow with the Spirit. We're also trying to understand the nature of God, but you're also supposed to be reasoning. You're supposed to apply the Logos. Why? Because in the beginning was the Logos, and it was with God, and then it was God. That's why. So I think I'm beating a dead horse on this one. I think you get the idea of what I'm trying to convey. So let's go ahead and move on to another spooky subject during this lovely holiday season. And we'll talk about energy vampires. So what is an energy vampire? Anytime you walk into a room feeling fine, and then you walk out of that room feeling exhausted, you could suspect you were just in the presence of an energy vampire, right? And so what do those folks look like? How would you know that you were in the presence of a energy vampire at the time that you were in the presence of them? Okay? We'll go ahead and talk about that. So I imagine they come in different classifications. I guess one would be the arguer, right? And again, it's like if you have something that is reasonable, like when I talk to my friends from the world and we're on the phone, agreement, disagreement, and that's fine. And we move on to another topic. And so now I know where my friend stands. Now, if you have to be right, if you can't help but be right, and you know you're right, and if you're not right, that means you're wrong, and that can't happen. Then what you're going to do is you're going to insist on the right of way, that your philosophy is the only philosophy. Therefore, I just disagree. And matter of fact, not only do I disagree, I'm mad at you now, and now we can't be friends. And now I'm going to tell everyone and their brother about how bad you are, and that's a type of energy vampire. Whenever you're in the presence of someone you must agree with, you must be on the exact same page with, without any disagreement, without any a little bit offness, and there's no pliability in that. That's a form of an energy vampire. And really, I guess any one of these forms of energy vampires, they're after the same thing. They're trying to extract something from you. It's control. So it's I need him to do a certain thing. It could be I need him to believe in me. I need him to tell me how good I was on stage. I need him to do my tasks for me. I need him. I need. So I guess the key word would be needy people. So even the people that are most in control and they won't let you budge, as it seems, which is an illusion, right? But if they're trying to insist on the right of way and they won't let you budge, they won't move out of the way, they cut in line, they do all these things. Those guys are energy vampires. And what's their main issue is insecurity. They're insecure. They will go to the ends of the earth and they will die knowing that they are right, not because they are truly right, but just because they need to know they're right. There's a need. I need you to validate me, validate my view. Even if I'm delusional, that's not as important as validation. Just validate me. And it's all about them. It's all about that narcissistic energy. What are you going to do to bring something back to the queen bee? Make sure that the queen is taken care of at the nest, and then all the other guys are just worker ants in their view. So those are two types of ghouls to avoid this holiday season. And perhaps some of you are saying, like, holiday season, this is paganism. It's like, at the end of the day, all these holidays are kind of have a paganistic origin to them. They all come from a group of people trying to do festival stuff, and a lot of them has to do with fertility. A lot of it has to do with overdoing things, overeating, and alcohol. It's all the same thing. So, guys, during this holiday season, I just hope that you take each step a little bit more serious and just try to be aware of your surroundings. If you go to a holiday party or a Halloween party and everyone wants you to get drunk, just have one drink. Just have rules. That way, if you have one drink and you accidentally have two drinks, then you'll know you're really blowing it at just two drinks instead of having no rules in drinking a 12-pack, right? So it's just, at the end of the day, the Bible says be self-controlled and alert. And that's what I believe we need to be during these holiday seasons. And so anyway, that is it, folks. This is Lawrence with Fellowship of the Father, and you have a great holiday season, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.